here with Mike Rossi, VP and GM for Energy and Utilities for Neudesic. How are you, Mike?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here with us. So, tell me about your role at Neudesic.
Yeah. So at Neudesic, we're a little more than a 20-year-old company, and for all those 18 plus years that we existed, we very much served a very horizontal market until recently, when we started to really kind of double down on our industry perspective. And so in that transition and sort of expansion of our business, I took a role to lead the Energy and Utilities division of Neudesic, which is a global role, and we service energy and utility companies all around the world now.
That's awesome. How long have you been at Neudesic?
I've been at Neudesic just about 11 years. Started my career in marketing, specifically in data and AI, which I think was sort of the propeller, if you will, to kind of get me into the right position to posture our team for where I think the tech business and also our industry is today.
Like, what's new at Neudesic? Obviously, you were acquired. How's that been going?
Yeah, the acquisition's been great. So just about 18 months ago, Neudesic was acquired by IBM. So we are an IBM company. And really the strategy behind, I think, that acquisition was really focused on the white space that IBM saw in their consulting business related to Microsoft technology and capability. So again, where Neudesic has really been postured over the last 20 years is really in that Microsoft ecosystem. So for our ability to come in and really start building relationships with the already great existing account base that IBM has, but then help them sort of expand the surface area of accounts by bringing in great Microsoft and Azure expertise. It's really helped create new opportunities across the portfolio broadly. So
I've heard you have a fabulous partnership with Microsoft. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, our partnership with Microsoft is very strong. We've been, again, part of their ecosystem for 20 years. The original founders of Neudesic came from Microsoft, and that really gave us a lot of opportunity to hit the ground running with relationships. And our business was built on a lot of strong capabilities in application development. And when data and analytics and then artificial intelligence came into scope, we really embraced that. And so from our early investments into, Microsoft Azure all the way through today, where we are, fully aligned with all the field teams at all levels of our accounts, we really have a great relationship and an ability to drive synergies and business both ways that ultimately help create value for both organizations. Just this year, just to kind of put a finer point on the relationship, we've had a long history of success and experience in helping Microsoft be a great technology partner to customers, and that's been exemplified by our Global Partner of the Year awards over the last, I'd say, 10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And the kind of the culmination of that was this year, Microsoft awarding Neudesic 9 global and U.S. Partner of the Year awards.
Wow.
Most specifically in energy and resources, which is great for the industry that we're servicing and really a testament to the value we're driving at that level. But also the opportunity to take the U.S. AI award, as well as the Migration to Azure award. So we really feel like we're in a sweet spot where, as organizations are looking to sort of chart their path or continue their path to cloud, and then also to layer on the data and analytics and artificial intelligence. We're sort of top of that ecosystem, so we're very proud of those accomplishments.
I was going to say, you must be so proud of those accomplishments in your team. That is phenomenal. What are your customers saying about working with Neudesic and these great partnerships?
Yeah, I think our customers really respect the opportunity to engage with a Microsoft partner that is so in tune with the direction and the product teams at Microsoft. We really do have a great handle on the product roadmaps, and we back channel and actually add in many ways support sort of the development of their future roadmap. So that's great. As an extension of that, we've also taken a lot of Microsoft technology, and we've also created our own IP, which to us as an organization is something that we bring to our consulting engagements that costs our customers nothing if we're doing the consulting services, and it really is a value add because it's an accelerator. It's the fuel on the fire that helps organizations not have to repeat the build out of some of the same technology, especially in the energy space where there really is no competition, to speak of. We're able to sort of refresh that and bring that point of view, bring that IP, bring that code base to our next deal.
You talked about acceleration. Can you give us an example? Is there do you have any recent customer success stories?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, our accelerators really fall heavily across all of our capabilities. So, migrating to Azure, we've got a lot there. We've also got a lot now in the data and AI space. So if you're building out a data platform capability, there's no reason why you have to, turn every wrench the same way that, our prior client base has done that. So we've factored a lot of that in. Our accelerators are typically about 60% repeatable code. Wow. And about 40% tailored to an organization's particular needs. So really it is an accelerator. It's not a product, it's not a license, but it is an accelerator. Recently, we've really gotten big into the generative AI space. As you well know, if you've been watching the news, this is a pretty hot topic right now. And there's a lot of sort of discussion around what it is and what it isn't. For us, we really kind of doubled down in that space, right when, OpenAI and the investment that Microsoft made into that product was made. We really saw the opportunity to sort of lead that path forward. And I think what we're now bringing broadly, but more specifically to the industry play is sort of what are the things that are going to be highly impacted by generative AI, and then work with our customers through the risk mitigations and all the concerns and different things that they have. Specifically speaking, we built out some IP that helps organizations stand up their generative AI platform. So, something that can scale in terms of their landing zone and being able to move, different use cases in and out without, having a whole lot of regrets in that architectural design. And then some of the user experience and some of the things that are most common, most needed, most required for adoption have already been thought through and sort of been put into some repeatable motions for our customers as well. And when we think about that, tech is always kind of core to the discussion. However, it's not the discussion. The discussion is really about the business value that we're bringing and how we're going to work backwards into the right technological solutions, the right tool for the right job, we like to say, so that we're not force feeding anybody into a certain path or into some black box that they have to figure out how to manage in the future. And partnership, right? So really working with them shoulder to shoulder and upskilling them, especially in these moments where we are on the cusp of probably something that's maybe as big as the launch of the internet with generative AI, but it's wildly not understood, right? So part of our job and our partnership with our customers is really, lean in and make sure that we are upskilling them along the way. So I think that, holistically, the business value perspective, and then also, the way we think about business strategy and return on those technological investments, in combination, that cohesion is really what customers say is the value creation mechanism that they enjoy partnering with us on.
What trends are you most excited about within utilities?
Yeah, there's a lot of need, obviously, in utilities. I mean, we are working with one of the most complex machines in the world that we call the grid, and it's not really getting much younger. For the most part, it's aging, and the assets are showing that. So grid, resiliency and focusing on not only the today, which is how we're going to keep, the lights on, or help our customers keep the lights on and provide great customer service, but it's also thinking about the tomorrow and working that into strategy and capital planning that's ultimately helping them build for, tomorrow's solutions. So things like our DERs and the renewables that need to come onto the grid. How soon, how fast, how much are all questions that, so many people have. And a lot of these problems can be, thought through and sometimes solved using, business strategy and data analytics. Yeah,
absolutely. You mentioned just the future of utilities. So where do you see the utilities industry going? Like what's next?
Yeah, I think the transition for the utility industry is absolutely one of the most fascinating. I know that there are other industries that have progressed very quickly, but I think there was a point in the utility business probably 10 years ago when we really started thinking about, what the impact of AMI or advanced media infrastructure could be, and customer systems like large ERP systems that would, provide the customer information and the frontline support that we'd be looking for. I think there was a point where we realized that this was not going to happen on premise in our data center any longer. So from a capacity, scale, security standpoint, it's hard to find a CIO out there that's saying, I think we manage security in our data center better than Microsoft. So there was these points of light along the way where we started to see this pretty significant transition. And I think that will continue to perpetuate. We saw that move to cloud for the very first time, and then we saw it in a big way. And we're still seeing it. And I think that opportunity for those organizations has become very apparent in operational efficiency, productivity gains, just the overhead expense of not, mitigating that expense from having to cover all of that. So all of a sudden we saw utilities become tech companies. Right? And so traditionally, we thought of them as laggards and slow and lack of adoption and all these terms that we would once think about. All of a sudden, game's on, right, with cloud, and so we can perpetuate and move things very, very quickly with cloud scalability, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. So this has been kind of a win-win. Where I see that going now is now that some of those foundations have been built, at least for the early to mid adopters. I think every utility company is now going to have to become an AI company. It's going to be a data-driven AI experience that's going to fundamentally transform every facet of our industry. We think about customer, we think about the grid, the hardening of the grid, and the transition to renewable energy. There's just so many gains, let alone just if you think about the development level of using tools like Copilot to actually augment your work and create a co-pilot experience to help you through some of these really tough challenges that we used to struggle through. And so where I see that going is that will help organizations become more efficient. Where I see more of the skilling going is people are going to have to learn how to build AI solutions. And there's also going to be a high need for people that understand the problems and are able to connect them back to technology and solutions that matter and create business value. So I think really the opportunity is just beginning for AI, and the things that we're hearing are really just the early days of it.
Fabulous. If you want the viewers to take anything away from your interview, what would it be?
Yeah, I think, overall, Neudesic as an organization has obviously matured a lot over the last 20 years, from what you might think was a small startup to a full-blown multinational consulting firm. And we take a lot of pride in the people that work for us. They're very skilled, are very well regarded in the Microsoft ecosystem. I mean, the thousands and thousands of certified people that go out there and work for us and build that relationship with our partners and with our customers, that adds a lot of value. And I think ultimately, for an organization that's looking for, a systems integrator or a partner to come in and help with some of these implementations, you're looking for that multifaceted strategic partner that's not just the technical expert or just the business expert, but someone that can sort of help build the plan, build, sort of the plan to get there, and then also the technology wrench turning that's required to be successful. So I think that combination and bringing that all together in the ways that Neudesic has sort of formalized our business, especially with industry focus, being that we pulled these people from industry and they know the problems and they know the acronyms and they know the solutions, or at least how some of the solutions have provided value already, gives us such an advantage when we're having these discussions when it comes to speeding up their value.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime.